everyone, Witch Boy Columbus here. This is a little rant. I'm going to make it short, but as I had stated in a previous video, I was about a book that I had bought. I am in several groups on Facebook, and I think that I really like being part of groups where I can see parts of discussions and I can input my feedback, and I try and remain constructive. Or, even if I don't agree, I try and be constructive about my criticism and show that it's my opinion and why my opinion is this. And I try not to read a lot of what other people say, because I tend to, when I see somebody that's not telling the truth or they're mistaken, I feel the obligation to point that out. So, okay, now, but recently, sorry, I'm stumbling. Recently, I've left two groups. One about a month and a half ago, or maybe a month ago, and then the other one yesterday. And one was, and I'm going to name them because I really think that if any of their followers or their admins watch my channel, that they should be aware that I don't think it's appropriate. In both cases, a thread was placed, somebody had asked a question, and people were responding. And in both instances, like, okay, the first instance, people were kind of all over the place, whether if it was good or bad feedback, but it was a discussion, right? And then an admin just decided to post something that said, this thread is ended, don't respond to it anymore, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the hell's this? You know what I mean? Why do you have a discussion group if you don't want people to discuss? The only thing I can think is that their opinions are differing from your own, and so you don't want to see it. Which, that's like power-hungry. You have psychological issues. You don't form a... If you want to be the ruler and dictator, call it your empire. Create a fan page. If you don't want people to discuss, create a fan page where you can just post all the crap that you want to see and your opinions, and then you don't have to listen to anybody else's. But if you're going to have a closed discussion group where you want people to give feedback on or be able to ask questions so that people learn, then why would you just suddenly end it? I could see if it was violent or something like that, but it's just people disagreeing on the first one. And this was on the Pagan Way. And so I posted a public message, instead of putting it in the thread, I posted a public that I would not be a part of a group where I constantly see people being censored, comments being deleted. I think that one they did censor me. They deleted one of my comments because it was after the fact, where they had posted the little "this thread has ended" thing, I think. But it was like, I watched like 4 other people post after that, and they deleted all theirs too. And I was just like, and they were positive. So I didn't understand what kind of power trip you've got to be on to think that that's okay. So I was like, well, it's not okay. And I thought we've grown past that dogma, or that if you don't want, I thought we've learned that we should be able to respect other people's opinions. If they are totally off the wall, then don't talk to that person. You know what I mean? Some people are just, there's no logic behind what their opinion is. But sometimes it's just either a difference of opinion or a different perspective on looking on a subject or something like that. So I was just like, I don't understand why in a group. I said I send nothing but positive energy and blessings to all my pagan brothers and sisters, but at the same time, I'm not going to want to be censored. We're all adults. You know what I mean? If it's constructive criticism going on in a discussion and not like a trolling and throwing out hate comments, why are you deleting comments? And I told him I wouldn't be a part of that group, and I left. And then I got messaged and friended by about 10 people that appreciated me for speaking up, and then they had left the group too. They said they had been watching it happen for, you know, a long time. And I had noticed it before, but I went back and forth with this admin, and then they were like, you know, if it's political, because I had posted something that was pagan but political, and it was like a question kind of thing. It wasn't but I posted it because it was like a current event. And so I think it was the prayer, prayer that was, I forget what it was for now. The guy that was kept coming back, and they wanted to add prayer, but then he was like, there shouldn't be any prayer, or if there is prayer, then it should be with, you should let every denomination have the chance to do it. So he did a invocation. It might have been that, I'm not sure, but he told me we don't want to post political stuff in here, which I was like, I didn't understand at first because it was still pagan, but I was like, okay, if they want to make it happy fluffy over here, then fine. And they had another channel, and we could post them there. But every time I go in that channel, those people were the people posting. There's no wonder why they're posting in there, because their theories and their opinions were like not educated. They were only going from one source. I try to read as many sources as I can before I formulate an opinion. That's not always what happens, you know. I mean, some things grab you, like, but yeah. So that one I was okay with. So I noticed that they had done it before, but then they did it again, and it was blatantly obvious because it was right in front of me. I mean, I was sitting there watching the thread, and then watched other people comment, and then all of a sudden they're all deleted, and I was like, well, whoa, this is not cool. So then it happened too in this place, in another group called the Cauldron, a mixing place for fill in the blank. I can't remember, witches, wizards, wizard, whatever. I know it's called the Cauldron, but it's like a meeting place or a mixing place, I think, for all the different paths, you know what I mean, but they're named out. Since I've left, I can't see that anymore, and I don't remember. I don't think I remember what it is. One moment. A mixing place for witches, druids, and pagans. So there's this guy named Steve. I can't remember his last name, and I'm not going to give that out. But anyway, there was a discussion, and it was a recent subject that we've all been discussing. But it wasn't. It was just a picture of a lady's chest, like where she was showing her necklace, okay? And she had a cross with a pentacle over top, or on it, like two charms, okay? The cross was about this big, and the pentacle was little. It was little, like the little ones that I have on my candles, like about that. You know what I mean? Bigger than this, smaller than this one, but bigger than this one. So, is my camera like blurry? So, people were posing, you know, what their reactions were, and most of them were a lot of them were positive. Well, do what you want, kind of thing. And I posted my opinion, and I said, nope. I said the symbols by themselves are not that big of a deal. I don't wear what you want to wear. But I said I don't blend, and I explained for my path, I don't blend any aspects of Christianity, of the religion, in, except for the very basic teaching of love. Love everyone. I believe in that. But that's the kind of the core belief behind everything else, and then there's all this corrupt crap thrown on top. So I said I don't believe in including anything like that, and I said something about I think I said something about I try and stay away from religious dogma and hypocrisy, and that has no place beside love in my path. Something to that effect. I know I probably cheesed that up just a little bit, but that's what I said, and I don't think it was that bad. And then I even added, remember that this is my opinion, and from my path. And then somebody else, they posted other stuff. Well, this Steve guy all of a sudden posted that same picture. This thread has ended. Any more people that comment will be deleted and kicked. and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, but after that, all the comments, like for 20, 30 comments, were really positive for the poster. And I think 2 were kind of on my side, but really constructive, not anything bashing anything. You know what I mean? Just saying that why they didn't think that those 2 go together. And I think they even said, I don't think they go together. You do you, but this is why. This is the reasons why. One of them even talked about being a crystal witch, and that in itself has its own thing. So, but then this guy started deleting our comments, and I was like, you know what? F word this. And I was like, this is not going to work for me. So instead of posting another big thing because I didn't want to cause any drama, I just left the group and then blocked them from re-inviting me. And I just don't understand. I hope that someone is in this group that can see where I'm coming from. I don't think that that's appropriate. If you're, like I said, if you're going to have a discussion group and you don't want anyone else's opinions but your own, then form a fan page. And get out of the discussion group, because other people want to discuss us. That's how we learn. Anyway, this is starting to get long, and I thank you everyone for watching. Please put any questions and comments in the drop box below, and I will talk to you soon.